Good morning from New York. And today, the threat to democracy is a threat to human rights. Where you don't see democracy, you don't see human. And the threat to human rights is a threat to the virtues needed in communications as well. Kamala stands for those virtues. Trump for hate and fear. I've talked a lot about, when someone's trying to con you, when they're keeping you from thinking by stirring up fear, hate. What does Trump do? Almost constantly, fear and hate. And you can't have a healthy democracy without human rights and virtues. That means a constitutional democracy where democracy is essential to that constitutional democracy, but constitutional means um, that certain values are being upheld, that there are certain individual rights in a democracy. And, otherwise, why? Because otherwise can be an abuse of the majority over the minority. And good luck. But when that happens, essentially, you don't have democracy because some of the people don't have a voice. So they're not really listened to, are they? So democracy is not just about everybody expressing their private opinion. It's about people who understand what's necessary for democracy to exist and thrive, which is a love flow. What is the love flow? Well, it's communications that are empathetic, not fearful and hateful, empathetic, that you try to understand the other individual in your communication. That's essential to a healthy. Try to understand the other person. Try to understand yourself as if another person. Take a look. And in using empathy is about that attempt to understand and to feel what the other person feeling or what you are actually feeling from another perspective. That part is what I call mystic. The activity that I call an action by the mystic, the ability to focus inside with your communications. So, empathy, there are different kinds of empathy. One is creative, so that you're seeing many perspectives in the attempt to care. Not just understand, but to care. It's empathy. And to care, there are different approaches. One is to see things from a lot of different perspectives. That's creative empathy. From that, we get artfulness. Without the arts, again, a threat to democracy. Invest in the art. Okay. But also there are two others. Another form of empathy is compassionate. What is that? It's attempt to care by sharing the feeling of the other person by in a passionate an attempt to care with an invitation to the other person to express what they need, what their condition is. So that's compassionate. You're not just trying to understand the other person. You're trying to you give them this space to feel, express those feelings that they have. Feelings, of course, are connected to needs, right? And that helps the other person. And when you do that inside yourself, mystic, uh, um, you're giving yourself the safety to express what people don't just express what they feel unless they feel safe. Example that occurring was I said this many times um, from an experience my father told me of, where he lost a dear lady friend. And he said that all of the things that they were saying didn't help him feel better. You know, oh, she's in a better place. Where's that? You know, she's in a better place. Singing with the angels. She's probably looking down right now and go, "Don't be sad." And all of this didn't make me feel any. But what made me feel better was a lady came and touched his shoulder. Said that made it safe for him to feel what had happened to resolve the situation. Because you can't resolve feelings without feeling. Right? That doesn't happen. You resolve the feeling, you resolve the needs, come to terms with it. There is a loss or something that you move on to attain. Um, it's very important. Another form of empathy is objective. That's where, your inner mystic, you're communicating with yourself on an objective. You're being your own counselor, right? Of course, in real life, well, your inner life is your real life too. Okay. So I misspoke. But your social life, speaking to people that you think that another day, um, in a way that offers solutions. But again, all of these things mingle together. This is kind of a useful illusion that these things are divided. A matter of the emphasis, main input. So you're counseling yourself or you're counseling someone else, but you're doing it with care. Caring is what. And what does that do? It builds up a sense of trust, faith. Gives us faith. In the case of Kamala, it gives us faith in democracy. that it can work, and that it can work as a constitutional democracy, protecting people's rights. She was a prosecutor, knows the law, she knows the Constitution, she's the love flow. And that's, beginning to be apparent, I think, to a lot of people. Get tired of the fear and the hate. Listen to Kamala. I'd like to say that protecting these virtues and voting correctly for the candidates that express more of these kinds of caring, that's the thing to do. And when we do that, we create all kinds of good in society. We better meet everybody's needs. We have a better understanding of, what's a fair amount of taxation. Well, the person that benefits the most out of the infrastructure of a country should pay more. How do you know when they're paying enough? When basic rights and needs are fulfilled, so that everyone has the opportunity to be an effective trading partner, one way or another. And sometimes that trade is on the needings. Yeah, children mostly need you. They're not taking you, you're taking care of them. But it's an investment. They're part of the love flow, they're part of the trade for the future. And when you're dealing with someone fallen, finding a way to lift them up, to heal that brain, that person, that man, you're doing that. That's the love flow too. It's a punishing attitude. It's in the way. It's in the way of practical. And how much is enough? I repeat, and a more impacting. Everybody's paying share. Then there should be no child hungry. That investment should be there. There should be kinder person. More about healing the punishment. You say you follow Jesus, you follow Krishna, you follow Muhammad, be peace be upon Moses, and you know the core of the Christian Muhammad, the core of the teachings are is the core of all of the teaching. Um, that's caring, effective caring. How do we do that? Well, you need laws. Yeah, you need laws. And those laws should come from people. And okay, so people are barely surviving. Shouldn't be. They should. You tax your kids. Okay, there's a meal kit. You don't have to wash the dishes. What are dishes? Hello. According to the ability from those who have a lot, much is required. Nothing wrong with being rich. Stirring up hatred against the rich or the poor is not healthy. But from those who have a lot, much much is required. And when you know when this mark is being met, as I say, when no child is hungry, no child is without education with a proper investment, when prisons are effective, not bent on punishment. It's all right to have a disincentive and you get a traffic ticket. Don't do that. But that's a nudge. That's not this hateful punishing. You know, that would occur when, you're speeding and you're dragged out of the car and beaten up. It's laws are okay, but the intent should be fix a problem, to heal the person who did the wrong, and to heal the people who were wronged, much as we can. I also have to point out that veterans, five, that's include firefighters, garbage collectors, um, wives, bridge builders, the police, these people, they need the opportunity to advance. And that when they're done with their career, they also should be investing in them so that they don't have to pay to go to college. New career. You've done 3 years doing this, and you've done 4, you've done 8. But college should be free. As you once argued that we couldn't afford K through 12. I've got to tell you, we can't afford to not include college. We can't. We've learned a long time ago. We can't afford to not invest K through 12. Well, what's required today to meet the jobs of the future is K through 12 plus. But we can decide that, and in that kind of decision making, that's okay. Some people are more conservative, liberal about that. But there's communication. There's not an attempt to take over the government and beat on police that are trying to protect the government. Uh, that Trump, that poor sick man, should never set foot White House, even set foot till he should be in a clinic, secure place, protected, he can't get out, can't tweet anymore, bring up hate. That's the way to go. Any social platform should have the right to stop people from stirring up fear and hate, especially if they're not even getting the facts right. Moving on to that subject, let's take a look at the demonizing of people who are in the country without inspection or with inspection, immigrants, which everybody here is born far enough back. We were born from it. And except for the Native Americans who discovered the place when there really wasn't anybody here. Yeah, they're not immigrants. It's the only ones. And they should be treated fairly, given rights. People need to pull together. And you can't isolate into tribes. Got to expand your tribe to be all of humanity. So since you're an immigrant, since everybody's an immigrant, uh, if you, and just because everybody's human, love people. Tell me, did Moses, Muhammad, Ivan, Jesus tell people don't love each other? No. These people you can hate. Haven't seen evidence. Um, Religions tend to come up with a little bit punishing aspect, but that's why I believe Jesus said, "Did I come to get rid of the law and the prophets? No, I came to fulfill them." And then later you hear that this covenant of the prophets was not perfect. Well, religion's not. See beyond your religion. Have your religion. Don't let the religion have you. It's a finger pointing. It's not love itself. You don't take care of the world by wearing a cross. Okay? You don't. Or whatever manner of clothing expresses your religion. Not enough. You got to leave the finger. In Buddhism, it's talking about enlightenment, perfect love flow. Uh, you know, to achieve that, teaching is the finger pointing, and sometimes teaches holds people back. But poison always. Jesus, press to forgive so that you can be forgiven. How does that work with this hate mongering Trump? How does that work? Tell me how that works. Doesn't work at all. I would like to invite everybody who sees this video, who's been blessed, helped out in any way by immigrants, especially those who cross the border without inspection. I have met some of the most loving, caring people who fit that description. And don't forget your humanity when you're dealing with other people. You're part of that tribe. You are. Don't forget other countries suffering. I hear this selfishness going on, which is against everything that religion points to. And they claim to have a religion. You need to get rid of that religion. Your view of that religion, it's not working. It's not getting you to the moon there. Getting you, so selfish they can't stand the paltry amount, that the United States gives. And I'm talking about the United States, but other countries. The people there who are resentful of sending help to people who, in our tribe, humans who are suffering. Hello, there's in Buddhism there's this Kuan Yin who hears the cry. How do I love Kamala? He hears the cries of the world. You know, you're aiming for the love flow when you hear and feel the cries. So, is nationalism a good idea? No. Your tribe is humanity. Love your country. Love the world. Love everybody. I think I've said enough. I'd like to repeat again. Since Trump is spewing all this hate against immigrants, inspected or not, I would like to hear in the comments your experiences with loving people that helped you out, that you knew helped someone else out, who were recent immigrants. Please do that. And please subscribe to the channel. Join the team. There are other teams, but I'd like you to join this one if you feel like it. And so subscribe, please. It will help get the message and help us with the messaging. You know, make yourselves available if you can. Be in our occasional Zoom call, or make some yourself. Send the videos. You know, we can be working together. We can make our world. Your small effort, don't think of it as small. Don't think of your one vote as small. Every small thing that we do, and what else can we do is small. Even if I were very rich and very rich, very rich, and gave $1 million, that's small. What's large is the communication, because you act in a loving way, in a thankful way, in a caring way. You enhance the love flow. You're a catalyst. That catalytic part of that small act that you do, it's enormous. Think of it this way: you do a good deed, someone sees it, inspires them to do a good, or the person you did something nice for does something, the next person, the next, and the next. Think about that. Think about the good that you do as analytic. Something like a fire that lights 1,000 over time. Be on fire for life. And in your last moments of possible illusion, self, still be simmering. Fade out, having given all that. A story comes to your story. I remember working at a job and had good communication. Not a great worker, never been really good at anything. Yeah, perhaps. There was always somebody better, times a lot better, but I tried to do all I could in each other. And the people were talking about hiring this man. So I talked to it always helps you older people out there. It's not the end of your job when you retire. The retirement age is spiritual job, time when you focus, like I'm trying to do here, on getting the word out, sharing your stories. Stories are catalysts. Back to the story. So I told him, I said, where? I mean, you tell me what's on your mind when you're working. He says, well, they pretend to pay me, so I pretend to work. So understand. So I understand, son. You mean to say that you're not giving your best? He had to admit that was true. So I said, you do not honor yourself by giving less than their dishonor isn't yours if they do not pay you fairly. Dishonor lies with you not giving your best. And if you give your best, they may be inspired to pay you fairly. But it's your honor at stake. Don't lose it. Sad ending. He changed. He was working hard, but it had all gone too little, too late. They fired him. Punishing attitudes. No investment. So today, be a catalyst of, you can do it in the smallest way, the way that you feel safe to do it. Maybe it's just a thank you. Stories come to me. I'm sorry. You tired of this old man stories? What old people do? We give you this. Uh, I like to thank the people who are cleaning up when I'm in the hospital, reminding them that because of their work, they're probably saving more lives. The doctor and made it a safe place to heal. All about team, as they say. There's no I in team. So until we meet again, may the road to love, the opportunity to love, rise. Have you meditated on that? Good. Subscribe, comment, share. Be part of the